Othello was a black general of the Venetian army, and he secretly marries a beautiful white woman. Her name is Desdemona. Desdemona's father is a prominent senator, and his name is Brabantio. So let's get
So
introduced
first
to the
we
other
have
characters.
Othello, which of course is the main character in this. Iago, which is the antagonist, the villain, the bad person, the one that's out to destroy Othello. Desdemona, which is the wife of Othello. Cassio, pretty much I call him, he's not necessarily the victim in this, but to me, he basically is the closest person to the victim that's in this play. Brabantio is Desdemona's father. Roderigo, he's totally in love with Desdemona. Emilia is the wife of Iago. So let's look at what happens. Okay, first, there is a storm, and Othello is sent off to war. This is when Desdemona's father sends Othello off to war. Othello comes back, though he comes back victorious. Okay. I would say one of the main characters in this one is definitely Iago, which is the antagonist. And these are the plans. What we're going to do is go over the different plans of Iago in order to destroy Othello and why he wanted to destroy Othello. So Iago already is upset that Cassio is promoted instead of him. He thinks also that Cassio has slept with his wife. So Iago is the one that leaks out that Othello and Desdemona has secretly married. Father does not like this, but of course this is done. Um, so that is his first plan. Okay, in order to bring down Othello, but it doesn't work. Othello is sent off to war, and instead of being killed, he comes back victorious. When he comes back victorious, they have a celebration for Othello, the victory celebration, and also the celebration for his marriage. So now Iago goes to plan two. Plan two is Iago organizes a street fight with Roderigo and Cassio. And Cassio is dismissed from his duties. Desdemona pleads with Othello to get Cassio back his position. Okay. So, of course, plan one did not work. So now we're going to plan two. The reason why he's able to use Roderigo is actually in love with Desdemona. And Iago tells Roderigo if he can get Othello out of the way, then Desdemona will literally, she will be with him. Of course, this doesn't work. So now Iago starts putting negative words into Othello's mind. He ends up, I'm presenting negative information. And one of the things he says is that Cassio and Desdemona were lovers, and that is why she wants Cassio to have his job back. At first, Othello does not believe what Iago is saying, and so now he wants. So in order for Iago to go continue with his plan, he's going to need proof. So now we're going to pause for a second, and we're going to look at plan three of Iago. Okay, so now let's continue. So, of course, like I said, Iago wanted to basically say or portray that Cassio and Desdemona was having an affair when Othello was at war. Othello does not believe this. He wants to have some proof in order to believe Iago. So now we go to plan three. And plan three is what I call the basically the celebration. During this celebration, remember they had the celebration of the marriage of Desdemona and Othello and also his victory at war. Desdemona has a handkerchief that was given to her by Othello, and she drops that handkerchief. Okay. Why is this handkerchief very important? Well, the reason why this handkerchief is very important is because it was actually a wedding gift given to her by Othello. Now, the problem is when she drops the handkerchief, Iago's wife picks up the handkerchief. So now Iago has, because his wife gave um, him the handkerchief, now Iago has something tangible that he can use as proof to conspire with his lie. Okay? So what Iago does is the handkerchief ends up being implanted into Cassio's room. And Iago also makes sure that Cassio, I'm sorry, that Othello sees Cassio with this particular handkerchief. Now, there's a lot more that goes with the handkerchief. As a matter of fact, a um, a duplicate of the handkerchief is made, but we're not going to get into all of that. I just want you to basically know some of the ideas around the handkerchief. And one of the main ideas is that Othello sees Cassio with the handkerchief, which is also a turning point in the play. Okay. Iago, like I said, he's continuing to put all these negative images into Othello's mind. When Othello sees this, Othello confronts Desdemona about where is the handkerchief. Well, instead of Desdemona saying, "Well, I do not know where I put the handkerchief," instead she lies and says it's somewhere in the house. And when she says it's somewhere in the house, that infuriates him even more. And it also backs up the lie that Iago is spreading. Well, why is this handkerchief so important? The handkerchief was actually a gift from Othello's mother. And the handkerchief was actually um, given to his mother. It was from an Egyptian sorceress. And this particular handkerchief that the Egyptian sorceress, I don't know what you call it, as far as making her blessings or whatever you want to call that. But because she got it from the sorceress, it had the power to make Othello's father loyal and desirable. Okay. So in his eyes, this is Othello's father. The handkerchief, because his mother possessed the handkerchief, it made her loyal and desirable in his father's eyes. But if the handkerchief was lost, then then he would leave her. Okay, and so she gave this same handkerchief to her son Othello. And so when Desdemona loses the handkerchief, and not only does she loses the handkerchief, but she knowingly lies about losing the handkerchief or what actually happened. That's why all of this infuriates Othello. Okay? And of course, we know at the end of the story, Othello ends up killing Desdemona. He ends up strangling her in the bed. Uh, he also, but there are also some other points to the story that I wanted to go over. Iago kills Roderigo, okay, because he does not want his secret revealed. He also kills his wife Emilia. But before Iago kills his wife Emilia, Emilia tells Othello exactly the plans or exactly all the things that Iago has done to conspire against him. So now at the end of the story, we have Othello knowing that because he listened to Iago, that now his wife is killed. But is that the real reason why Othello killed his wife?